Hi-san. My name is Hatta. I'm from the Japanese National Commission for UNESCO, and I think the majority is from the National Commission for UNESCO from the Asian countries and Pacific countries today. And could you raise your hand from who is from the National Commissions? Okay, oh yeah, right, okay, group, okay, whole bunch of people. So the others, probably aspiring geoparks, and then some of the institutes from geological institutions in the countries, and so good, very good. We have a very variety of people today. But I'd like to start talking about our Japanese National Commission's perspectives on the UNESCO Global Geoparks. And maybe I can share with you guys some of the relationship with the JGC and the JGN you have already learned from the last few days. Some of the slides are probably recap from the past few days, and probably you know very well and understand the organization of the National Geopark community in Japan. And then I just would like to talk about this kind of topics today. Okay, in Japan, UNESCO Global Geoparks, we have a total of 9. And just recently, its peninsula became the newest global geoparks in Japan in this April at the UNESCO Executive Board meeting. So you are in Oki Islands at the moment, and we have a very variety of the geoparks. And as you know, geopark activities in Japan have been very active even before the establishment of the UNESCO Global Geoparks in 2015. And probably in day one, Professor Mahito Watanabe mentioned a little bit about how we developed global geopark system in Japan, because we have a national system of Japanese geoparks, and this is not compulsory or any obligation under the UNESCO system. This is a very own system in Japan. It's a method how we promote geopark activities. So I think there are a lot of approaches, different approaches in the world under the UNESCO family. So I think I recommend you to ask some other member countries how they are promoting the geoparks so far. So why in Japan geoparks activities is so popular? Because it's a bottom-up approach, and it gives empower local communities an opportunity to develop cohesive partnership with a common goal of promoting the area-specific features. So, which means it's about local creation and vitalizing local economy. So that's why the local governments are very keen to utilize this geopark system as a tool for vitalizing local community. And also, it's a way of finding or reconstructing local identity. But in the beginning, central government didn't really keen about these activities. So because it's in a way it's a bottom-up approach. So in Japan, the activities started in the academic society first, in association with local governments. So it's a bottom-up approach is now boosting around, and it's been more than 10 years now. And to be honest, I'm very grateful. This bottom approach is really successful. So, two main function organizations, you probably understand this from the last few days. We have JGC, the Japan Geopark Committee, and it was established in 2008, and it consists of 11 academics, or sometimes maybe more than 11 or less than 11, I don't really remember, but it's basically academic societies people constitute of the JGC committee, and it's not, it's a very voluntary group, and it's not regulated by the law or anything like that. It's really voluntary basis, and also at the JGN and Japanese Global Geoparks and UNESCO Global Geoparks is sort of the cooperating together and ask for advice from JGC on the activities of the promotion and management of global geoparks as well. So, but the main role of JGC is the selection of the areas of Japanese geoparks, and which includes the UNESCO Global Geopark as well. And where the government agencies comes is it's just in the bottom. The government agencies support activities local governments to promote the activities. So it's in context of regional revitalization. So a different government has their own subsidized system, and the global geoparks and the Japanese global geoparks can apply for such a subsidies depending on what the global geoparks want to do. So this is kind of list of the central government who has some kind of subsidized funding system related to the geopark activities. So you know, in 2015, Global Geopark became one of the UNESCO program, and in Japan, Japanese NATCOM formally recognized and designated the JGC as a national committee for UNESCO Global Geoparks in Japan. And then we kind of issued a certifying letter from the NATCOM. So JGC continues to be an evaluation advisory body as a national body for UGGPs in Japan. You know, the UNESCO has operational guidelines for UNESCO Global Geoparks, and in Article 4.4, it mentioned that the creation of National Geopark Committee is recommended. So, so we follow this operational guidelines. And it also said these committees may be created by the competent entity in charge of geoparks. So that really fits to the Japanese case because we luckily have the JGC. So the committee must be recognized by the Member States National Commission for UNESCO or the relevant governing body in charge of relations with UNESCO. So as Secretariat of National Commission for UNESCO, we ask also with the other partners and other ministries related to geoparks activities, if you know this is the right process for Japan as well. So we kind of have a consensus as the central government as well that JGC becomes one of the national committee for the UGGPs in Japan. So I think I skipped this one. So in Japan, NATCOM is stipulated in the law concerning UNESCO activities. So we have a law for UNESCO activities. And it is stated that like this, NATCOM is established as a special ordinance in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology. We call it MEXT, as the organization for advice, planning, liaison, and study regarding UNESCO activities in Japan. So the governance, we have General Assembly for NATCOM, and we have member of NATCOMs about, well, I think slightly over the 50. A lot from the academic societies, and also a lot from the sort of the UNESCO associations, all over Japan, we have a lot of the associations who promote UNESCO activities. So we have some representatives from those associations. So a lot of local input comes to this General Assembly as well. And under that, we have a specialized committee, education, natural science, cultural activities, human social science, communication, public information activities. I think this is really associated with the UNESCO's headquarters governance. So we have each sector's committee. Then under the natural sciences, especially, we have 3 subcommittees for the independent UNESCO's program. IOC, the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission, and MAB is Man and Biosphere Reserve, and also IHP, International Hydrological Program. I think the national commissions really recognize these activities, I think. So, but in Japan, Japanese NatCom don't have any subcommittee for UNESCO Global Geoparks in this governance. We kind of outsourcing the JGC by certified as a Japanese National Committee for the geopark programs. But the JGC need to report back to the Natural Science Committee under the Commission. So maybe annually, at least once, we have a Natural Sciences Committee meeting. So during that time, we ask JGC to come over or make a report and what kind of activities they have developed. And the government agencies also attended to the JGC's meetings as an observers. So I also goes to I think almost every committee meeting as an observer. So I understand what's going on, what kind of discussion, what kind of development nationally JGC is promoting. So I think currently we have the structures of the committee, JGC. I think we have now around 10 members as the JGC members, and we have working group for the selection and other bodies. So we just started the new as a new JGC from this April. And one of the things I'd like to mention, I put the UNESCO schools here, which means UNESCO associated school. So under the UNESCO family, or maybe because of the NatCom in Japan is established within the Ministry of Education, we really make a lot of efforts to utilize the UNESCO associated school all over Japan, and use the also the the geoparks activities, as a tool in promoting the sort of the educational sustainable development as well. So just this is just from the Article 4.4 Operational Guidelines. Structure of the national committees for UNESCO Global Geoparks recommended to consist of the representatives from this kind of the sector. So we kind of we constructed the National Geoparks Committee just recently. So we have more diverse people from each of these sectors. So, main role of the JGC as national committee. Well, of course, evaluation of the candidates for aspiring UGGPs. And conducts evaluation, also including field missions. This is very hard work actually, but before the in field missions conducted by UNESCO experts, JGC has own system to conduct field missions. So in a way, you need to have a lot of time and cost to do so. And also, one of the very important role is consultation and advice to the UGGPs for improvements in Japan. So the UGGPs, every 4 years, they need to do evaluate. So you have to keep improving. And this is current procedure for new UGGP nomination in Japan. So NATCOM outsourced the JGC as a national committee. So JGC has authorities to recommend to UNESCO directly. So they do make an evaluation of the application from the aspiring geoparks in Japan, and they do go to the field mission as well. They decide if they want to recommend to UNESCO, or maybe they tell the aspiring geoparks maybe next time. So that decision is really independently decided by the JGC, not the government or NATCOM. But we support NATCOM, and government support the activities of JGC. Okay. So main role of the NATCOM and the government. So we do monitor activities as national committee. So in a way, I think NATCOM has sort of the responsibility to see if those activities comes under the UNESCO program. And also, at the same time, of course, we support JGC's activity as national committee. So ministry next supports the host of secretariat of JGC. Currently, JGN, Japanese Geoparks Network, is doing secretary job. So we closely collaborate with the JGN and the JGC. And as a NATCOM, when necessary, we correspond directly with UNESCO through an official channel. Like, I think the application documents goes to the UNESCO by electrical document, I think, right? Am I right? Yes, yes. But in the case, sometimes, hard copies needed to be sent immediately. In that case, we ask the Minister of Foreign Affairs to go to the official channel, so it goes very quicker. And also, I think this is also under the operational guidelines of UNESCO. National Commissions issues a support letter for the application for the designation as the UNESCO Global Geopark. So we issued the supporting letter and we sent to the JGC Secretariat. And JGC Secretariat filed all the documents on behalf of the aspiring geoparks, and they sent to the UNESCO office for the application. And also, as an NATCOM and also the Ministry of Education, we do organize training courses like this through Japan Funds in Trust. So the government of Japan support UNESCO's activities through the Funds in Trust. So historically, Japan is really working together with the Jakarta office. We have a number of projects under the JFIT in the other natural sciences program of UNESCO. So this is sort of first initiatives in the field of the global geoparks. And like I mentioned a little bit before, we promote UGGPs in the context of ESD. I think in this room, everybody probably understands ESD, more or less. And we think education for sustainable development, ESD, empowers people to change the way they think and work towards a sustainable future. I think this really connects to the activity of the UGGPs. So I think global geoparks became UNESCO programs in a very, very right timing, because we can associate with a lot of activities with ESDs. So I think JGN has a lot of activities for the capacity building nationally. They have also the subcommittee of education, and they're talking about how they can do some more activities in context of ESD. So future actions, we think how we're gonna go about. Because we are the national commissions for UNESCO, we have responsibilities to promote UNESCO activities. So, especially in the natural sciences program, they have a similar things as well. So, I think to create synergy between UNESCO Global Geoparks activities and other programs as well. I think probably somebody already mentioned a little bit similarities of the UNESCO World Heritage and maybe biosphere reserves. And it's very, I think it's kind of challenge to mixture the concept with these, three UNESCO programs, but it has a lot of things to share. And the second point is SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. As the government of Japan also, and I think all the member states, is really aware of the importance of the promotion of the SDGs. So we asked all the UNESCO families in Japan who are making a lot of activities under the program. They have to think about what they could do to contribute to the achieving SDGs. I think some of the Japanese geoparks already have started these things. And I think in the United Nations High Panel meeting, a lot of case studies is sharing at the moment. And in the other UNESCO program, I think the UNESCO also collecting case studies from all the member states. So I think maybe global geoparks could do the same things in the future. So we have also, just I would like to mention a little bit about biosphere reserve in Japan. We have also 9 same numbers, and some of the sites areas are duplicated. I mean, it's, like Hakusan is also, they are the national geopark in Japan. And Yakushima is the World Heritage. And the Sobo Katamuki Onmokue, they are also Japanese geopark. So the concept a little bit slightly different, but the activities level a lot to share, I think. And so we can find a synergy as well, because both of the system in Japan, local governments are taking a main role to promote together with the academic societies. So different academic societies, but the local governments, together. And also it's linked to the national law for the national park. So yes, national park legal system. They share both biosphere reserves and the geoparks share. So a lot of activities is common. Well, that's about it. Thank you very much.